Hello, this is part 3.3, episode 5 of the PAL level 19 compendium, detailed theory plane for tetrises. So I'm still on the no gravity room, and first of all, why deliberate using right well, 10th column well on PAL level 19 in case of stacking for tetrises, playing for tetrises is a blunder. How the board looks like the real space. Here we can go to the first column well over too high on the second column, of course with pure DAS, while we can go with a pure DAS over 6 high on 9th column to the right well. So it means the real space for all pieces, if we, for example, if the S piece to the left can go as high as possible here over too high on the first column, if we color all points, the points I mean, for example, this is a point, this is a point, this is a point, this is a point. If we color all points that can be filled with all pieces, we would get something like this. This would be color. Of course, I cannot show it that is how exactly it would like, but it would be a kind of line like this. This is the space, the real space we can use for the whole PAL level 19. Then we have some more when we can go with 6 pieces, then 5, and this very high, some of the very high points, like for example O piece, all 4 O pieces can be stacked on the left and on the right, and for example the horizontal line can go very high both to the right and the left. But this is the space that we can use all the time, looks like this. I'm not trying even to show it exactly because it doesn't matter. The idea matters. The rest comes up in the practice. So if the space looks like this, and we want to use the right well, that means this space usually will be staying empty because we cannot put something here very high, just because we will lose, and the 10th column, which can be stacked very high. I mean, Of course there is more space because everything can be stacked here, but I mean the line that goes between the points on the first column, uh, the points which can be filled by every piece, and the point on the 10th column that can be filled with every piece. Of course there's a little bit more in the middle, it would look like this in true, but this is the real space. Of course maybe I should show it like this, but the idea is of this straight line. We using the right well where the 10th column, which is by the way the side column, so it's a little bit harder to fill, must stay empty, so that much space of the space I showed isn't used, while on the left column we must stack all the time 4 lines, practically usually more than 4 lines to be successful, and while only we can go with something to the left only over 2 on the second column, and due to this, if this stays empty, the real space becomes way smaller. And these points here that are practically needed to create a Tetris setup are outside of this space. How it looks in practice, we must try to do something. So we cannot put it, for example, here because the first column would be totally inaccessible, and the time it's going to cause a lot of problems faster or later. It's just impossible to play successfully using this. For example, right now, theoretically we cannot, we shouldn't put it here because the left, the hole on the left without a long bar can very easily lose the game. So we must put it here. Now we have nothing to do with the long bar, so we must burn. And of course, in the most of cases we won't lose, but it's going to be very hard to create these tetrises successfully. Again, we must burn because there's no place to put it. And how much of this space? There's absolutely no space right now. Any drought immediately kills. So this would need some more practical examples, but I don't think I can show it right now in more clear way why the right well is just about on level 19. That's why we're going to create something on the center wells. We can use the mobile well or try to stay as the two best wells that are third column well and fourth column well. In a moment I'll explain why. And now I must also see one very important thing when the game, also I think I said it in the previous episode, when the game gives you a Tetris setup, especially when you're playing for Tetrises, and does it in a clear way, you almost always you should take it, regardless of if it's even if it's right well, if the pieces fit perfectly, and in case of right well, if the left would be filled properly. Uh, Usually it will be alright with the board, if there's no Tetris, there shouldn't be any greater problems with burning it down. So this is this real space. So the idea is to use as much of the right as possible, trying to fill the first, second, sometimes third column as much as possible using pieces that fit the left, and then when we touch is ready, depending on if the touch's readiness is opened on the left side or on the right side, trying to manage the pieces in a way that allows to create a burn setup, after which we're going to be still Tetris ready. So let's start with the third column well. The third column well requires these 8 points to be filled, and of course this space on the right. To fill why, and first of all why it is very successful and very comfortable to do. This 8 points can be filled by 2 long bars, 2 O's, or 2 L's with per das, and after this 2 O's can go with a pure das on to the still to the left side. So we're trying to put these pieces here as much as possible while keeping the right side of the board clean, and then if something doesn't fit, trying to burn, or if it fits, then depending on what side is opened, trying to create a setup to burn. So let's follow this. Okay, the L is first, so it goes to the left, and now we're waiting for another L. Okay, there is an L, and now we need only this point to be filled, and if it's a game only for Tetrises, this long bar can be put here, but objectively it isn't good. It's very nice to keep this space side opened on the right side as much as possible, because this O's still can go here, and in this case if pieces are bad, something can burn it here. So let's go with it to the left. We can create the double well in this space. First of all, we're always, maybe not always, but it's very good to keep the right side clean. And now we have the double well. following the rule, O piece still goes to the left. Now if something doesn't fit, we burn. If the board gets broken, we take the triple or whatever comes, and we're trying to set up again. In this case I put this O here because after this the well isn't opened. Now it's side open, so we can burn an L here, J here, uh, and J here, and above this burns will create a L triple setup. Oh, that's a misdrop. I wanted to put it here. We're burning still. Okay, this has gotten broken too much. Yes, this is broken. And that's again what just will happen. There's no way to avoid it. Okay, this is game over. Let's try one more time. And it will happen. There's no way to avoid it if we're playing for tetrises. Again, the first piece goes to the left. Slowly keeping it opened as much as possible. This is also what will happen. This is a kind of a clearing stuff that I explained 2 episodes before. Now we can also try to wait for the second long bar here, then fill it here, and we have a Tetris setup again. But if the pieces doesn't fit, if the pieces don't fit, we just burn. And again, this is also the setup when we can where to and we can put the L here and then wait for an O. If the O doesn't come, we can burn using an L here or J here or J here. It all depends on what pieces will come. If something doesn't fit, we just burn and slowly trying to create something. In this case, this O can go here because after this, due to this point being empty, the where is opened, and this is probably, these 5 points are probably the best setup for the third column Tetris, because after this burn using AZ, we are still Tetris ready, and the well is still opened on the left side. But if there is an O, of course it can still go here, because there is still a lot of space on the right. If this well is on the eighth column, there is no this space on the left that we can hear right now on the right. of course, okay, this was my first thought, so let's put it here. Now we can go here because this is totally opened on the left, and we're following this burn method. This is another setup. When we put, if this point is filled, we put S here, and then we're waiting for another S, or when the S doesn't come, we can burn here or burn a Z here, and or T here if this space is filled. We have a lot of very different chances to create a tetris out of it, for example like this. And we put it here right now because after this the well is side opened and this burns immediately. Okay, this is a little bit unlucky. This is what will happen in the actual game. But 3 tetrises in a single game are at least pretty good. If it's 3 tetrises in a huge amount of games, then it may be a little bit worse. But if it's 2 or 3 tetrises regularly, it's a very good outcome. Now, this is a start of the 4th column stacking. After this, we're trying to put Z here and then another J here, then O here, and we have a well left side opened. Now it's about the same, but this time flat here, so it will be only J then Z, and then we have this setup immediately, but O still can go higher on this column. Not here. This may be a little bit, this would be a mistake, but if you want to go aggressively and it's that early in the game, you risk nothing. You can put it here if you're scared, just here. It's, if something is wrong, just burn. And we're trying to create a different setup again. For example, right, like this, and then we have this 3rd column setup immediately. If we have something like this, we can use also, we can first of all move the well to the right using long bars here, or build it here, or of course not in an intentional way here, but if it goes like this and in the kind of 2 parts, build this space and then use 2 burns, burn 2 single lines using J, L or T, and then we have a Tetris setup on 3rd or 4th column, depending on which burns were fitting the board in a better way. So let's try to move this well, it's a bit in the middle. as the well has moved to the fifth column right now. And now we're writing, trying to create a burn setup here and fill these 2 points as fast as possible using S or O, because after this burn using a triple or a tetris we have 2 pieces we're writing for, a long bar or an L. After any burn here the left, it's after an S here, it's 6 high, so after 3 lines and 1 line it's 2 high on the second column, so the left is accessible again. And again we can put it even here because it immediately starts this third column. Oh, that's a misdrop. I wanted to put it here and then the O here to have this well set up immediately. So let's burn it down. And this is again the clearing stuff. It's like I said, it will happen all the time. There's no way to avoid it. Okay, the mobile well is just go, if you want to go for tetrises you can. This will be also in the next part, the playing casual games part, and you can create Tetris almost everywhere and just out of the pieces and setups that are given to you by the game itself. Okay, I think that's everything about the basics of the playing for Tetrises. There will be more about it in the practical part, because there will be a lot of this third column well, also this fourth column well, probably also something about why the right well is bad, and in the casual games there will be a lot of Tetrises out of a regular clean stacking. So that's everything in this episode. In the next there will be a casual games sphere and in which I will explain this mobile well setting up while playing for lines. So because this is what I mean, casual games, and then overall practice, and then practice using real games. So thanks, bye.